Hey everybody, Gary with Basecamp Trading. Let's take a look at the ES. The ES in the overnight actually pushed higher. We had some vaccination news released at basically the beginning of the Asian session or at the end of the day yesterday. And the ES pushed to the upside and it just kind of really went sideways most of the rest of the night. Went into the European session, made another leg higher, and then coming into the U.S. session, had a pullback. This was a pretty bearish bar, opened at the top, closed at the bottom, followed by another fairly bearish bar, opened right here, pushed all the way down, and then left this bottoming tail. The body of this bar was still all selling. This bar opened right here, pushed down, then left another bottoming tail, and then the body of this bar was all buying. So we had little bearish movement here and then some bullish movement on this bar. This bar opened up here, pushed up, then left this topping tail, and the body of this bar was all selling. This is a really bearish shooting star. So some indecision on the stocks right here. This shooting star actually triggered to the downside. This bar opened right here, little wick to the upside, and then at one point the entire body of this bar was all selling. And then the buyer stepped in and we left another bottoming tail. Now the body of the bar was still all selling, causing the 5 and 13 to cross to the downside, but we did have this bottoming tail. Then the next bar was actually a really bearish bar, opened right here at the top, pushed all the way down, broke under the 50 EMA. The 50 EMA is always, or not always, but often strong support and resistance. And we actually had a 30-minute close underneath the 50 EMA. So we were really looking bearish at this point. This bar opened right here, continued to push down, looking like we were going to just continue to go lower. But then we left this bottoming tail again here, and the entire body of this bar was all buying, and they closed it back above the 50 EMA. Next bar opens right here, pushes underneath the 50 EMA, can't stay underneath it. The entire body of this bar was all buying. So now we are getting some pretty bullish bars. Bottoming tail, body all buying, another bottoming tail, body all buying. We had this doji right here, a little push down, but the body was also all buying. And then we had kind of a bearish bar. This bar opened right here, pushed up, the body was all selling, closed down here at the bottom, but then the next bar, you can see just lots of indecision. Next bar opens right here, pushes down, the whole body is all buying, leaves a little topping tail, and then followed by yet another really bearish bar, leaving a topping tail. The whole body of this bar was all selling, keeping the 5 and the 13 EMAs crossed to the downside. Next bar opens, pushes lower, breaks back under the 50 EMA, but as is often the case, not able to stay under it again, leaving this bottoming tail and another bullish body. The body was all buying again. Next bar triggers that to the upside, and we were able to get a Renko trade off of this setup right here. Left another topping tail right there, but the body was all buying. But we were able to take advantage of the setup right here on the Renko chart. And this is where that took place. Renko chart had been in a downtrend. See, making lower highs, lower lows. And then right here, we broke the downtrend. We had a higher pivot high. We broke above these previous pivot highs. So it's not a trend reversal breakout. We just broke the downtrend. We had a higher pivot high, breaking above previous pivot highs. And then we broke out of the cloud. Again, this is one of the setups we really like. We like it when we break the cloud, pull back, get the moving averages in alignment, make a wick out of the cloud as a continuation trade with a decent momentum reset. And that's exactly what we got. We broke the cloud, made the pullback. All of our moving averages are in alignment. Price is wicking out of the cloud and off the smooth 50 to the upside. And then right in here is where we were triggering that bullish hammer on the 30-minute chart. And we had a nice strong push to the upside. pulled back wick off the 18. If you traded this, if you're using 5-bar rule, you might have actually got stopped out on that one. Had another Trender Pro 2.0 wick off the 18. That was good for a couple targets, and then this is where that bar left that topping tail on the 30-minute chart. But we were able to get a good Renko setup, and this is one that we really like. We like to break the cloud, get all the moving averages in alignment, get a nice momentum reset, and then make a wick out of the cloud and above all the averages back in the direction of our trade being confirmed by our 30-minute chart. So just a textbook Renko setup, which made us 4 or 5 targets. Again, depending on how you were trading it. If you got out on this pullback right here, this entry right here probably stopped you out. We use the 5-bar rule, that probably stopped you out, but then you got back in and were able to get several $100s per contract again. So all in all, worked out pretty good. But again, textbook Renko reversal with 30-minute confirmation.